the time will pass anyways. It's really easy to get caught up, right? And cope. Saying you're not ready, saying you're not prepared to take action, make a decision, execute on something you said you execute on. Usually, we'll say something either outwards to our friends, families, either to ourselves within to cope. Saying something like, I'm not ready. I'll be ready in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. I don't know. You today thinks you in 2 weeks will be ready, but you in 2 weeks will think you in 2 more weeks will be ready. And then the cycle never continues and you lose twice. You suffer twice. Now, this can be extrapolated outwards to big decisions, or it can be scaled down to small decisions. It can be cleaning your room, brushing your teeth, doing the dishes. It could be going to the gym, asking that girl out, making that business decision, buying that share, buying that crypto. Whatever it could be, you suffer twice. Now, the reason why you suffer twice is when you take action, the performance of that action is not that enjoyable. No one likes cleaning their room. No one likes washing the dishes. But when you keep procrastinating and kicking the can down the road, you're not only suffering when you perform the thing, you're suffering during the anticipation of that thing. And the longer you wait and the longer you're anticipating, the more you suffer. You're just extending that period of time. Another thing to consider is you today, right now, are in the position you are in because of you 2 months ago, or 2 years ago, or 2 decades ago, or 2 seconds ago, whatever. Your current positioning relies on the actions, decisions, and etc. of previous you. So when you look back, you'll be either grateful and thankful, or you'll be disappointed and resentful of your previous self for starting or not starting, for executing or not executing. So you will know how you'll feel about yourself in the future by just looking and reflecting on how you feel about yourself today, or how you feel about your previous self today. Another thing to point out is, hold on, maybe you lose 3 times. When you perform an action, especially an action you don't want to do, or it feels a little bit uncomfortable to do so, asking that girl out, starting journaling, buying that book, signing up to that gym, starting whatever. When you perform any action that's outside of your comfort bubble, you pretty much have to step into a new identity because you're stepping out of your current self. Now, once you perform an action like such, you become that kind of person. When you ask that girl out, despite being scared, despite being whatever, you now become the kind of person who asks people out, who is confident. When you don't want to sign up to a gym membership and you're anxious and you don't know where to start, but you do it anyways, and you go to your first gym session, you're now the kind of person who goes to the gym. Now, the reason why I say you now lose 3 times is because when you don't perform an action, you're reinforcing in your own mind that you're not that person. And then there's a feedback loop there. I'll do another thing about feedback loops in the future. That's a whole separate topic. But when you don't do the thing, you're then reinforcing it in your own mind that you're not the kind of person who does that thing. So now you've lost 3 times. Poor you. And I guess the reason I say that is because the time will pass anyways. When you look back at the hard choices you've made, or the grit that you go through, and the suffering that you go through or don't go through, you don't really remember how you feel. You don't remember the feel. It just is. Right? Like on the days that I didn't want to train, on the days that I didn't want to read, on days that I didn't even want to consume educational content, but I did it anyways, I don't really remember that time. I just remember the compounding effects of those actions. And we can go to the flip side. The times where I took the easy way out, the times where there was no real delayed gratification, there was only instant gratification and instant dopamine, I don't really remember many specific moments. Obviously, there's times where you need to live life. I understand. I get it. I'm also young. But what I'm saying is the time will pass anyways. You'll be trying to find the perfect answer, the perfect decision, the perfect business model, the perfect pickup line, whatever. Next thing you know, 6 months goes by, a year goes by, whatever time goes by, you haven't done the thing, and the time passed anyways, and you just wasted time, and you're suffering 3 times now. You're suffering once because you're prolonging the period of anticipation, so you're suffering. You're suffering twice because you then have to re-suffer again when you do the thing that you don't want to do. No one likes doing stuff they don't want to do. And the third and final one is you're reinforcing in your own mind that you're not the kind of person that does the thing. So with saying that, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know. It's just a video. This video is just about reflecting, right? The reason I make these videos in the first place is not only just to capture what I'm thinking about for myself and others to look back to, but also the fact that when you say things outwards, you reinforce them in your own mind, and it's like you're giving advice to yourself. So after this, I will have a sit down and think, what can I do to take my own words of advice? My closing thoughts is I call this my pondering journal. And in this pondering journal, I only do this every week or two, but I just write down some random stuff. And something I wrote about a couple of weeks ago applies to this video very well. So I said this: the time will pass anyways. It's easy to get caught up, lost in the abyss, trying to grasp everything before getting started. Just start. Current you looks back at past you, thanking or resenting you. When you look back, there is no feel, there just is. So make use of your time. Squeeze every last drop. The time will pass anyways. Wow. Chinese Shakespeare. Yeah, that's my words of wisdom. The time will pass anyways.